and welcome to our Culture magazine on I-24 News with the best from the world of entertainment and art. Today on our program, David Tartakover, one of Israel's preeminent graphic designers. What's a dog's life like in Tel Aviv? And Jay Leno's last day on The Tonight Show. But let's begin with some cultural headlines. The 64th Berlin Film Festival opens this Thursday in the German capital. Among the films competing for the Golden Bear are The Grand Budapest Hotel by director Wes Anderson, starring Ralph Fiennes, Willem Dafoe, Jeff Goldblum, Edward Norton, and many others, which will also open the festival, and Richard Linklater's Boyhood, a film project 12 years in the making. The festival will also include premieres for George Clooney's much-anticipated The Monuments Men and Lars von Trier's already controversial Nymphomaniac, starring Charlotte Gainsbourg, Shia LaBeouf, and Jamie Bell. American producer and writer James Schamus heads the jury this year. It also includes actor Christoph Waltz and director Michel Gondry. The festival will also screen a special program in honor of 100 years of Turkish cinema, and British director Ken Loach will receive an honorary Golden Bear for his life's work. And an auction of Impressionist, modern, and Surrealist art yesterday yielded the highest gross ever for auction held by Sotheby's in London, over $266 million. The top lot of the evening was Camille Pissarro's restituted masterwork Spring Morning at Boulevard Montmartre, which sold for over $32 million, a new record for the artist at an auction. Vincent van Gogh's Husband at Sea fetched more than $27 million, the highest price for a Van Gogh painting at a London auction in 25 years. The sale began with 37 pieces from the private collection of the late collector and gallerist Jan Cugier, which sold for almost $87 million, including Picasso's Minotaur composition, which sold for almost $17 million, a record for a Picasso work on paper. Some of those figures sure are surreal. The makers of Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol are being sued for $1 billion by a man who claims its script was based on his own screenplay. Timothy Patrick McClanahan claims the 2011 release was illegally written and produced from his 1998 script, Head On. He filed legal papers against Tom Cruise, Paramount Pictures, and several production companies last December. The documents have been obtained and published by the website Radar Online. McClanahan said that he sent his script to the William Morris agency, who passed on it, but he claims sent it on to another agency, CAA, where Cruise's producing partner is represented. He's suing the film's production for the sum of its theater ticket sales, DVD and Blu-ray sales, as well as rentals and subscription sales, which add up to the hefty sum. I suspect winning this lawsuit would be its own impossible mission. And on Wednesday night, Noah Yadlin, a young Israeli writer, was awarded the country's most prestigious literary award, the Sapir Prize, for her book, The Landlord. The book centers on a mother of a Jerusalem elite family who embezzles funds and how her son and friends deal with the shame. The jury wrote that Yadlin wrote a witty and fun novel which sends its critical arrows to the soft spot of modern life in general and specifically of Israel's, including the fake nature of New Age, the weaknesses of the Israeli left, and all those who deal with image instead of essence. Personally, I found the cover of the book very appealing. David Tartakover is one of Israel's foremost graphic designer, a collector of Israeli design, and notable political artist. His new exhibition, Drawings 2013, is displayed these days at the Tzaddik Gallery in Jaffa. Avri Rosen-Tzvi visited his studio in Tel Aviv to talk about his latest exhibition and his career.
Over his 50-year career, David Tartakover has combined commercial design work with political art and activism. Some of his designs have become iconic in Israeli culture. His new exhibition is a marked departure from the work he is known for.
I've been doing this kind of drawings of the sabra, the cactus, for about 30 years, more than 30 years, because I started it as a political statement, which is a sabra is a local native Israeli, but could be the same as a local Palestinian as well.
Tartakover is perhaps most well known for his political posters, which he has printed and distributed for years.
Political poster is, for me, is like a therapy. I did my piece against this occupation, against the Benjamin Netanyahu regime, and against the right. It's a kind of therapy. I used to do it till the end of the Second Intifada, and then I put my book together, which shows all the work I've been doing. And now I'm doing less.
Still, the work Tartakover considers to be his most substantial is a stark political statement. The name and symbol of a movement which arose from a poster he made when President Sadat of Egypt came to Israel.
I think my most important piece that I did was giving Peace Now the name and the logo. I mean, the logo is still recognizable and it still works, you know. I mean, I did other few things that became icons, you know, but while I did them, I didn't think that they were going to be icons, but Peace Now logo is carried the whole movement.
Tartakover is also a collector and preserver of Israeli graphic design. He holds the most significant collection of Israeli posters and advertising work in the world, and has put together several books based on works from his collection. Their aesthetics also influence his own design work.
The materials that I collect, I use them in my work, you know. It's getting a kind of recycling, you know, but they get different meaning. I see that I'm preserving it, you know. It's things that were vanished, disappeared, and now I revive them.
And yet, Tartakover says he would rather think of the future than of the past. The next client, the next book, the next exhibition.
Beautiful and important work. Whether at the beach, shopping mall, at restaurants or cafes, Tel Aviv has dogs all over. It might be one of the most canine-friendly cities in the world, and they get most of the amenities its human residents enjoy. Flo Sitruk went to explore what a dog's life is like in Tel Aviv.
In the past 20 years, the dog population in Tel Aviv has tripled, while the human population has only increased by 20%. In young, trendy neighborhoods such as Florentine, there can be up to 5,000 dogs for every square kilometer. Dog food, clothing, dog sitters, taxis, and even dog TV, an entire industry has developed around Lassie and her friends. In this startup nation, there is even no shortage of dog apps.
I'm looking for an app to find the nearest dog park. So there we see that there's the nearby Meir Park. I can also see that all of Shekel's buddies are already there waiting for him. Let's go to the park. Shekel, come.
Tel Aviv has more than 60 parks reserved specifically for dogs. The city has made a clear effort to brand itself as dog-friendly.
There is 20 times more dog park space per person in Tel Aviv than New York or Los Angeles. Look, we are at the municipal dog pound. Nearly 1,000 dogs spend 1 or 2 years here, and we have a strict no-kill policy. Dogs are not euthanized, and some may stay here for a year or two until we have found them a home.
This Tel Aviv mall allows dogs, unlike most malls in the world. There are designated dog beaches, and dogs can even benefit from alternative treatments. Kelev, a 13-year-old pointer, was paralyzed from falling from the 4th floor of a building.
people that are using holistic medicine for themselves know what it does and would like their pets to benefit from this. And another thing, in Kelev's case, the only way was to do this combination of acupuncture, homotoxicology, nicotine products, and after a few days, and then in 2 weeks, he was walking.
In recent years, Tel Aviv has joined the global stage as a secular and progressive city that caters to its young and hip residents. Taking care of the city's dogs is just another piece of the city's vision.
Many young people in Israel come to live in Tel Aviv, at least for a few years, and here they're trying to develop a lifestyle that is more in sync with the world. They want to enjoy the moment, live from day to day, away from the expectations of the more traditional Israeli society and its values. The dog is another accessory in this individualistic lifestyle.
According to a study by Tel Aviv University, dog owners who walk their dogs know their neighborhood and its residents better. While online dating sites remain popular, a better way to break the ice in Tel Aviv is to own a little Carlin or Labrador.
In just a minute, we'll talk about Jay Leno's last day on the job, but first a few cultural highlights from around the world.
Artist David Hockney has been making prints for the past 60 years. In time for the anniversary of his first print, the Dulwich Picture Gallery in London is celebrating this aspect of the artist's work with a new exhibition. Over 100 prints, mainly etchings and lithographs, from the artist's lavish output has been selected, forming an overview of Hockney's career. The exhibition, Hockney Printmaker, is on view until May 11th. Alina Sapoknikov, a Jewish sculptor and one of Poland's most well-regarded post-World War II artists, will have her work exhibited in Israel for the very first time. Although Sapoknikov's artistic activity was short-lived, it yielded a cycle of radical, reflexive work which embodied the artist's traumatic biography, life in concentration camps and terminal illness. The exhibition, Body Traces, will run at the Tel Aviv Museum until May 31st. An entire floor of the new museum has been transformed into a retro-futuristic spaceship interior by the Eastern European artist collective Transit. 117 artworks, including video, sculpture, print, and installations by the collective's 65 members, are installed throughout the floor, which has been modeled after the fictional spacecraft from 1963 Czech science fiction film Ikiri XB-1. It recalls future fantasies from the socialist Eastern Europe and explores the ideological role outer space played during the Cold War. The exhibit, which contains explicit materials, is on display until April 13th.
And now it's time for Shachar Peled's weekly visit, Offscreen. Hi, Shachar.
Hi, Oded.
So we know it's Jay Leno's last day, but they still haven't called me to
How come?
come and replace him. What's going on?
It's an end of an era, Oded, indeed. I don't know. I'll check about that. But definitely 22 years behind Jay Leno. And it's not a surprise he isn't going quietly. It's been his last week as host of The Tonight Show. Today's his final show. He's going to host Billy Crystal, his first ever guest back in 1992. Nice. And he's hit the highest ratings since his return in 2010.
Let's hope it won't convince him to actually stay
back again.
More,
yes, that year between 2009 and 2010, when Conan O'Brien replaced him, and the big dispute between the both. We all remember that. But since then, he's been back, and since then, The Tonight Show has remained the #1 show in American television, the #1 talk show. In Monday, the last Monday show of Leno, he hosted Jimmy Fallon, his 39-year-old successor, and there Jimmy tried out his famous goodbye thank you notes as a goodbye tribute to Jay Leno. Let's watch a bit from there.
Oh, it's very nice. Well, thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. Ricky, do you have any thank you note writing music? Wow. Hey, what are you guys up to in 2 weeks? Yeah. Oh, they'll be looking for work.
They're actually washing cars at my garage.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, we love Fallon, and the audience seems to love it too, though it doesn't really matter because the show is going back to its original place in 30 Rock in New York instead of the studios in LA.
Everyone was fired and...
Well, yes, it's now Fallon and his crew, but, you know, the show's been running since 1954. It's going to be its 60th anniversary now. Although 22 years is very impressive, Johnny Carson, and this is 30 years of hosting the show, holds the record, but Leno has an impressive career behind him. The 2009 Obama interview was the first time a sitting president was on a talk show, and he has many very, very impressive things he could be proud of in this
he
show.
did a great job, and I'm sure Jimmy Fallon will do the same. Thank you, Shahar.
Thank you, Edith.
Thank you for joining us as well. I hope you enjoyed watching us and that you'll choose to join us again next week. See you then.